everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Hello.
And I am Tank Stonebeard.
We're supposed to wait for that part.
Oh, sorry. I'm Sam.
So today we're going to be playing through, for the first time, Legacy of Dragonholt. Now, Legacy of Dragonholt is like a cooperative story adventure thing, similar to Tales of Arabian Nights. Now, we're going to be playing through the kind of tutorial scenario, 2 new roads. There is 5 other scenarios and a whole book, Dragonholt Village, which is like multiple scenarios. So I think this one would be legitimate to watch. You'll be spoiled maybe on this one, but not even totally spoiled it because you might make different decisions than us.
Definitely smarter decisions.
Yeah, and then there's still all this tons of content left. This one says 50 to 80 minutes, but this is 30 to 50 minutes per chapter, 75 to 120, 50 to 80, 50 to 80, 50 to 80, 50 to 80. That's a ton of content. So
That's a lot of stuff.
I don't really think, I mean, this, again, it's going to spoil a little bit of it, but not enough that I think would affect whether you get the game or not.
Yep.
I see you.
So the way this game works is it's going to actually teach us the rules as we play. We're going to read through this book, and there's like different sections we're going to go to. But before we do that,
So this is a learning game.
yes. Oh. Well, I don't think we can make too many rules mistakes in this
know,
one.
right?
Okay? I feel okay.
Oh,
with
okay.
that.
I'm like, wait, what's happening? Got it.
All right, so we're going to go through our characters. So I'll start with my character. I'm Loquacious Lawrence. You can call me Larry for short.
Loquacious
Larry?
Lawrence.
I'm a human, Wildlander. I'm 18 years old. I am the 15th child out of 16. So I was the baby of the family till my brother was born.
Oh, it stole
And-
your thunder,
Oh,
man.
my goodness, yes, I was forgotten. But I'm a good talker. I can talk my way out of all kinds of situations or into jail. I've been in jail many times. Nothing I've done.
Right.
Mostly accidental insults and things like that.
So if you're good at talking your way out of things, how did you get into jail?
Well,
He-
if you
well, he
notice, I've
talked
been in
his
jail
way
8
in.
times. I haven't stayed in jail.
It's true. He talked his way out again.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
I've also started lots of businesses
If he was really
that
good,
keep failing. We started reviewing.
It does say that.
it does.
Throughout there's like a lot of people in the fantasy world, they play like dice games and stuff, so I started reviewing them. That didn't work very well.
Oh, I get it.
And I'm just eager to please. I'm good at archery. I'm pretty good at talking, but at the same time, I'm also not very smart. So my skills are persuasion, empathy, archery, survival, performance, because I can play a couple instruments. I can't sing. I sound pretty bad, but I can play a few instruments.
Oh, okay. I can see.
Agility and runes.
This is going to be an interesting band of characters here. But all right, yeah, clearly I'm hanging out with...
Also, I had 3 pet cats as a kid.
Oh, we're going to have some problems. For you see, I am a cat folk. My name is Nick Furry. I am also a bard, by the way, and my skills are awareness, survival, performance, deception, and thievery. How did that get there? I don't know.
I was going to pick deception. I was like, Z's got that one covered.
I got it.
I don't need to do this one.
Anyway, I had it rough. I was born and raised in the roughest school of music this side of Death Door Prison, and I have adept fingers for plucking strings and plucking gold. Yeah, do you see what I'm saying? I am bald from over-grooming. And I'm missing an eye, which you might have figured out. And that came from a cat fight, and so now I wear an eye patch. I use it for distraction purposes as I play my... I have a little string...
A lute.
A little lute, a little string instrument from which I can... a blade emerges as you are charmed.
What's this, Desperado?
Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I cut you! Wow! So I can see what we're hanging out together. I, however, have never been in prison.
I'm hanging out with you because you remind me of my pets when I was a kid.
Oh, we're gonna have
Oh,
some
was that wrong? Should I not say that? Can I
we're-
pet you?
Oh, we're gonna have issues.
That's not going to be good.
That's not gonna work out.
All
'Cause
right.
You are even worse.
I am Tonk Stonebeard, and I'm a dwarf brawler.
Clearly.
Aged 43.
Oh, how old were you?
I'm 34.
You guys are so old.
You're what, 18 or something like that?
My skills are military, willpower, athletics, endurance, and awareness. I distrust all catfolk
And why are you hanging out with us?
because I'm keeping an eye on you, stupid people. I think humans are inferior to dwarves.
So he's basically just kind of the whole time be like, pff, pff, pff.
I make a living as a stonemason and honorable axe for hire. I enjoy hunting and grilling what he hunts.
What are you grilling? It smells
whatever
delicious.
I hunt.
Oh, you actually said grilling. Okay.
Yes.
I thought you misheard.
I am bald by choice. My beard is long, thick, and gray, hence stone beard. I'm average height for a dwarf, and I'm average looking for a dwarf, but I'm ugly by all other standards.
I did think you were a little ugly, but I didn't want to say anything.
That's okay. I'm better than you anyway, so it's all right.
All right, are we ready? 2 new
It's
roads.
disgusting.
All right, your attention, please. Okay, so it starts with the rules. There's going to be rules in the sidebar, so if we run across them for whatever reason, we need to go through those rules.
Okay.
All right, here we go. You slump down on a wooden bench, stretching your legs. You've been traveling for nearly a week now toward a small village called Dragonholt. Oh, is that the name of this game? What?
Yeah.
Your journey is at the request of Celise, a former adventuring companion and friend who has since found her calling as a tutor to the children of Countess Regina Fairfax, Lady of Dragonholt.
Children.
You take a moment to reread the letter.
Look at that. It's a real letter, yo. Does he know how to read?
Oh. If you can't read it, I can.
I got it. Have a seat. My friend, I pray this letter. Oh, wait. He spelled pray with P-R-E-Y. I pray this letter finds you in good health.
Is it really spelled P-R-E-Y?
Yes.
Is that a clue?
For
Maybe.
Ocney instead of once, because I need you to travel. It's
Just read the letter.
It's misspelled. This must have been written by a human. As you might have heard, I've taken a position as a tutor in the household of Lady Regina Fairfax, Countess of Dragonholt,
I never had a tutor.
just outside the village. I elected to take this position because I hope to find some peace and quiet after that business in Dragonholt.
Oh, I remember that.
That was
Had I known what my future held, I would have done something else entirely. Lady Regina's 3 children are more lively enough to deny me anything resembling peace or quiet. Again, must be human. Even now that they are mainly grown, I remain very busy. But I did not write to you to complain about my lot in life, as you know. I never
did.
complain, even when the so-called dwarven mind is very obviously an inferior human vintage. I actually agree with that. Again, or when my very favorite cloak, the blue one, is stained by some. This person really needs to learn how to spell. Is stained by some drunken lush spilling his wine. I do despise drunkenness. Elves should really stay out of human taverns. That is true. I write to you because I fear something sinister is at work here in Dragonholt, and I require your assistance. I dare not say more openly, as I think it would likely this message will be intercepted.
Yeah, but no one's going to be able to understand it.
The rules say we can look at this letter anytime we want. All right.
Hieroglyphics. I can trust no one here to help me with this matter. After that business in Nerrikhall, I have only you and a small handful of other allies left. Again, two F's. Please help me. There is more at stake than you know. Celise.
You are uncertain why Celise has summoned you to Dragonholt. Her letter is strange, speaking
That's a
only of
woman!
a threat that requires your assistance. And although you're sure the letter was written in her hand, the message contains several details you find uncharacteristic of the elf you adventured with in the past.
Oh, my.
You had never known Celise to drink dwarven wine, and you would swear she always wore a green cloak.
And she knew how to spell.
I feel like this is that's clue.
A clue! Nick Furry's on the case!
It's not unthinkable that her preferences have changed over the years, but something about the way the message is written makes you feel there's more to the letter than is obvious. You've always known Celise to be excessively proper in her speaking. She must have been in a panic while writing to have produced so many spelling errors. Even more alarming is the brief note on the back of the letter.
Whoa. Did you read the note?
Please refer to my first letter.
Put a hammer
Could she have
in
sent
it.
another letter that was intercepted as she had feared? Regardless of the vagueness of her request, you owe Celise at least this much after that business in Naricol. As a tutor in the employ of accountants, she may be in a position to reward you handsomely for any assistance you can render.
I'm there.
Excuse me, is this... I'm sorry. Excuse me, is this road the fastest way to Dragonholt? You look up from the letter to see Miriam, a gnome merchant you've been traveling with, talking to another traveler and pointing down a path toward a forbidden forest. Aye, if you're going to know Dragonholt, you have to go through Eventide Forest. Ain't no way around it. About a day's travel straight through.
Everybody knows that.
Miriam thanks the traveler and he continues on his way in the direction opposite the forest. You fold the letter and stow it away before standing. It won't do to rest for too long. You sling your baggage over your shoulder and prepare to resume your travels. Miriam turns to face you. I guess Miriam's with us. Well, what are you waiting for? If that's the road to Dragonholt, let's be off. Miriam has been traveling with you for 3 days now. Like you, she is traveling to Dragonholt, and as she put it when you met, the more the merrier. We should proceed with caution, calls Braxton from
Are
behind you.
you just hitting puberty now, my young man?
Shut up! The orc woman hefts Miriam's bag off the ground where the gnome has left it and drops it into Miriam's open arms. Rumor has it there are bandits who make camp in those woods. We should watch our backs as we pass through. Since meeting Miriam and the orc knight-errant, you have found Braxton to be the more cautious of the pair by a wide margin. As far as you can tell, Miriam has hired Braxton for protection, but at times the orc seems to dote on the gnome more than a bodyguard would.
I have a nose for these things.
You nod in agreement at Braxton's comment. With a last fleeting glance at the crossbow signpost, you follow after the energetic gnome who has already started towards Eventide Forest. Okay, so now we have a new thing, making decisions. Obviously,
No.
it's going to give us some decisions and we make them. But when we're playing with multiple players, we each have an activation token like this. So we reach a decision point, one person makes the decision, they will flip it over, then they become the active player, they'll read the next one, and then another person will make the decision, and we'll keep doing that until everyone has activated. That way everyone's making the same amount of decisions.
Got it.
So if it says you in here when you're reading it, that is you specifically. All right, so one of you is going to make this decision, and then you'll be the active player. So the decision is, let's make some headway before we lose the light. What else have you heard about these bandits? Or stick close, Miriam. It's dangerous to get separated.
What was the first one?
Let's make some headway before we lose the light. What else have you heard about these bandits? Or stick close, Miriam. It's dangerous to get separated. These don't actually sound like they all sound like things that would say in conversation.
You want me to make this decision?
I look way better from the back.
Soldier forward.
Judging you on your
All
mistakes.
right, that's 2883. Still find it in there.
28.
Why do those two people
20.
hang out together all the
You
time?
say 2883?
When you're a little bit older, you'll find out.
Oh my goodness.
I was friends with an orc once. That's my whole story.
Good. Good.
Farther down the road, Miriam turns to call out, "Hurry along, Braxton, or you'll be left behind."
Horrible.
Oh, that's what she said. What does he see in her?
I don't know.
He's blind.
You hustle forward to catch up to
No,
the
wait,
gnome and keep
Miriam's the
pace
guy.
with her.
Confused.
Braxton falls in just behind you. Braxton is the orc.
Braxton is a female orc.
Braxton is a female orc?
Hey, don't. I said one time and she slapped me.
Say it again.
Is your name? Ah!
Thank you.
She keeps slapping me.
I understand your enthusiasm, but
Who
we
is
must
that?
take our time, Braxton.
Oof.
Once we enter the forest, or we may become lost. It says mark story point 01.
Mark it. You're not writing on that, are you, you monster?
Yes, I'm writing on it.
If you cough up another hairball, I'm gonna feed
No,
you
you
to
can.
the orc.
You can print another version of this on their website.
Yeah, but that one's on the back
All
of
right.
the rules.
Story points are. Do I need to read this? I imagine. Since
Yeah,
this is
it's a new
tutorial.
rule.
All right. Story points are abstract recordings of the decisions you make throughout the adventure. They allow you future entries or future quests that play out differently depending on the decisions you've made. Story points are recorded on the story tracking sheet. Some effects, like the one above, instruct you to mark one or more story points. To mark a story point, locate it by referencing its letter and number. Then mark that box with a check mark or X. And you put a circle.
Neither one
Clearly
valid.
not obeying the rules. Some effects in future enemy entries will be resolved differently if specific story points have been marked.
Makes sense.
All right, so a couple of different opportunities here. First one is, we'll be fine as long as we stick to the road. Or, do the rumors about bandits have any merit?
You know what's not too far behind bandits? Go.
Will you hurry up and make a decision, you infernal cat?
Oh, we're looking for bandits.
I found some milk.
Get out of my. Stop it! That is a racist slur about cat folk.
My cats at home always drink milk.
I don't drink milk. What kind of milk is it?
You don't drink milk?
Milk from.
Milk is so nourishing. Why would you not drink milk?
7%.
That's pretty good.
Essentially cream.
It's like drinking whipped cream. All right, you want to do the bandits one?
Yes, of course.
32.98,
Of course.
which is just right there.
All right. 32.98.
Wait,
Braxton strides beside you, keeping an ever watchful eye on her eager companion. Not much. I've just heard from some travelers that a number of caravans have been ambushed while passing through.
Ooh, I hope we see bandits.
Valuable goods were taken, but the merchants and traders have been mostly unharmed. Okay. Mark story point R6.
Woo!
Read entry 1340.
With an X. You don't?
I like the mark.
1340. Do I continue to read?
Yeah, because no one made a decision yet.
Fine. As you speak with your traveling companion, small trees begin to dot the terrain around you. Tall grass gives way to brush, and you soon find yourself at the edge of the forest.
Ooh, I hope we see a monster.
And then below that it says, the most obvious thing I've ever read in a rulebook, time passes. We know that.
Now read the passage of time.
Okay. The passage of time. Throughout your adventures, you will track the passage of time on the tracking sheet for the current quest. Each unit of time represents an abstract amount of time that could be anything from a few minutes to multiple hours, depending on the current quest. When time passes, mark one box of time with a check mark or an X, not a circle.
Does it say that?
No. Some effects in future entries will reference how much time has passed or if a specific amount of time has passed. As you walk, you take the chance to become better acquainted with your fellow travelers.
Hang on, where am I getting this? Where am I marking time?
On the tracking sheet for the current quest, which is that.
It just says make an X, right?
Hang on 1 second.
You foul creature.
No.
Oh, excuse me. This is monstrous writing. Very well. As you walk, you take the chance to become better acquainted with your fellow travelers. And so I guess these are options we have. Is it just these two? It sure is. So we can ask Miriam what she plans to do in Dragonholt. And then below that it says, should I be reading that?
No.
No? Okay.
Just read the two options.
Ask Miriam what she plans to do in Dragonholt, or ask Braxton what she plans to do in Dragonholt.
Oh, I'm more interested in the orc. She's so cool and tough.
Pretty sure what she's going to do is just follow Miriam around.
Excuse me? You said you were a woman orc? That was my question.
Tact. So much tact. Let me see. Wait, let me see your stats, young sir. Your survival is severely lacking when you ask that of a dwarf, of a orc. Let me see. Persuasion. You're supposed to be persuasive, you monster.
Well, I mean, when I need to. 4945. All right. Braxton smiles gently, nodding. Whew. I knew she was nice.
You survived.
Nodding her head in Miriam's direction. I will. Oh, by the way, we can all turn our things back
I
over.
will follow her around.
I will continue to protect their friend Miriam for as long as she requires, services. As you may have noticed, looking after her does not leave me time for anything else. I resemble that remark, cries Miriam.
You resemble that remark?
Can we smack her for saying such a... Sam says that all the time. After that, I'm not certain. I was not certain what to do with myself before meeting Miriam either. I suppose I will travel to a larger city and try to find employment. Sam or Z, this is a 6-choice option. We can ask Braxton about her past adventures.
No.
Ask Braxton how she met Miriam.
No.
Tell Braxton about our past adventures, but to do that we need deception or performance.
No.
We can ask Braxton which lord she served, but that requires empathy or history.
No.
We can ask Braxton about her military training. That would require history or military.
No.
Or we can show Braxton how to foil sleight of hand. That requires awareness or thievery.
Yes.
Which one are you doing? Oh, no.
Yes.
Asking Braxton about her military.
Of course you are.
All right, so much for showing her the foil thing. So that is 2552.
2552. I need to know if she is worthy of my company. 2552.
Do you like orcs?
Better than catfolk.
But cats are so cute. Where did your hair go?
I licked it off.
Huh. Is that common? Do lots of cats do that?
Yes. Actually.
I learned to hunt as a young girl. Most orcs do.
She sounds like a man.
She will be hitting you for that soon.
If she can catch
Wait, isn't that
me.
the comment my character would make?
The way Braxton walks through the forest quietly, alert to hidden dangers, you can easily believe her. Throwing a spear into an enemy isn't much different than throwing a spear into a beast. But I didn't properly learn the arts of war until after I'd become a knight. Lord Garrett Kaler and his master-at-arms were my teachers. Braxton draws her sword, tosses it in the air, and catches it along the blade, letting it balance perfectly at the edge of her hand.
Oh my goodness.
There is much more to fighting than fighting alone. The thrust
Fighting
and parry
together.
of the sword are only part of it. Battles are fought with the body, but won with the mind. You must be aware, but never unfocused. You must be cautious, but never afraid. You must be decisive, but never inflexible. She flips her sword back into the air, catching it by the hilt and sheathing it again.
She is so neat.
She
I can learn
casts
so
her
much from
eyes
her.
down to the floor. Would you
Yes,
like me
you-
to set up a date?
I just want to learn.
Would you like me to set up a date?
I
It's
can't-
one of your
could
skills,
probably do
matchmaking.
that.
Matchmaker.
She casts her eyes down to the
make
forest
me
floor.
a
Anyway,
match.
you asked. You divert the conversation toward the local soldiery, a subject where Braxton seems much more comfortable. Dragonholt must have some sort of town watch, says Braxton. But if it's like other villages, it will be small, ill-equipped, and largely untrained. Militias are usually brave folk who mean well, but they don't win wars without someone to lead them. Mark story points S2 and Z1.
Yeah, that's right.
And we only have one time unit, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we read
Man,
7616.
I'm dropping all my things.
Oh, so it says if there had been different time units, we would have read different ones.
Yes.
You know, I've never seen someone die.
Come on.
There was that time I set the fire.
I can
and
remedy
an old
that.
man joking almost died, but he got out. He seemed a little annoyed, but I managed to persuade him that it was my sister.
This kid's a pyro.
7616.
Well, it's not that I was a pyro. I was just, we were testing a new,
Yes.
it was called Wildfire.
7616.
That's good. Keep it away from me. I don't like fire.
You continue down the road, and the sky
Okay.
overhead is soon obscured by the foliage of the forest canopy. Streams of sunlight dance around you as a gentle breeze shakes
pretty.
the leafy ceiling.
Yes, it is.
Miriam skips forward and spins through the shafts of light, smiling and laughing.
Can I do that too?
These people are way too happy.
It would be best if you stayed close. Becoming lost in the woods is all too common for those not accustomed to traveling without the sun
Man, I
or
can find
moon
my
to
way
guide
out.
them. Despite the orc's warning, Braxton makes no additional effort to keep pace with the playful gnome. If story point N3 is marked, is that right?
It is.
Read entry 4389.
Oh, I brought some catnip. Do you like this?
I find. You know what? Catnip, that's no joke. I got hooked on that back at Bard College. That stuff
Right,
is
there's
tough to
decisions after
kick,
this
man.
one. There's
Don't
decisions to make after this
don't
one.
mess with me, man.
All right, here we go. You changed the subject, electing to ask Braxton what she knows about Dragonholt.
What do you know about Dragonholt?
I've never been to Dragonholt myself, says Braxton. Lord Kaler's lands were west of here, and so I never had occasion to visit. I did hear that the village has a fine inn.
That's right.
You heard that from me,
I hope they have
calls
milk.
Miriam. Miriam's aunt runs the place, says Braxton with a smile.
Is it a wealthy place?
Apart from that, I think the place is rather unremarkable. A small collection of houses surrounded by farms and orchards. She frowns and drums her fingers on the hilt of her sword, looking all around. Well, there was that one story about a brave hero who could freeze a dragon's flames in its throat. What? But I think that was just a story. Braxton lapses into a comfortable silence for some time. 3 choices. Ask Braxton about her family, ask Braxton about orcs, leave Braxton to her thoughts. Family, orcs, thoughts.
I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask
my
about her family.
Oh, this kid.
2062.
Oh, this kid's the worst.
I've never been to an inn.
Are we using the system correctly? Don't we
Yes.
got to be flipping this jazz?
I have flipped mine over.
Well, it's the
I've
great
done
side.
2 things, so I know. I flipped it over. And
So I'm
then when
next.
I did my second one, I flipped it back.
Okay, that's fine. We can do it that way. So you're the only person who hasn't gone yet. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I actually forgot the entry I was going to now.
2062, I believe.
2062. Yes. Okay. I haven't seen them in years, she says. My brothers were not happy about me abandoning them to take service with Lord Kaler. I don't even know half my brothers' names. But to be honest, I had to get away. After our father died, my brothers became more and more domineering. They wouldn't let my mother and me do anything without their permission. I was going on long hunting trips just to avoid them. It was on one of those trips that I met Lord Kaler. She glances up at the forest canopy as I see her brothers there.
They're not there.
Oh. It's funny, but now that I'm grown and a knight, I miss them. I like to see them again as equals. I like to meet them too, calls Miriam. Maybe break all their kneecaps. Miriam doesn't like my brothers, explains Braxton, even though she doesn't know anything about them. They were awful to you, says Miriam. That's all I need to know. Well, not enough time has passed. We're going to 38:59.
The time just passed?
No, it doesn't. It said if 2 time had passed, we would go to a different section. Eveningtide Forest is an intimidating landmark. You can see why Braxton was concerned. Within an hour of entering the forest, the thin young trees give way to ancient gnarled guardians. The light leaf canopy transforms into an oppressive shroud that cloaks the road in darkness, even during the most sunny of days. Time passes. In the darkness of Eventide Forest, the chilling
wrong with his
stillness
voice?
reigns. And even I grew up a year.
I know.
And even bird songs are drowned out by silence. You continued onward, Miriam's usual banter quieted by her new mood, 1 part fascination and 1 part fear.
0 parts shutting up.
Braxton keeps an ever-vigilant eye on the surroundings, her hand now resting on the pommel of the blade at her waist. You soon come to a stop when you catch up to Miriam. She is glancing down what appears to be a small game trail that branches away from the main road. Up ahead, you see that a number of fallen trees are blocking your path. An old crossroad signpost marks the split, but the wood is too rotted and the writing is indecipherable. What do we do now? It doesn't seem like Lady Regina has been alerted yet. Braxton strains to look over the fallen trees. We could clear the road ourselves or send word to Lady Regina once we reach Dragonholt. Or we could try this trail, offers Miriam. Maybe it connects to the main road on the other side. So, Z, it's your choice. Scout along the game trail and
Nick
report.
Furry, please.
Sorry, Nick, it's your thing. Scout along the game trail and report back. Climb over the trees and continue on the main road. Or clear the road of debris before continuing.
We're going to climb over.
All right, 4184.
Clear the road. 41,
A block road.
84.
blocked road is ripe for ambushes. We would do other people great service by clearing the road.
Me and my friends one time blocked the road on purpose and then charged people to clear it. It was really good business for a while, but my father was really irritated.
He started a bunch of businesses.
Yeah, we cleared roads.
4184. Climbing over the fallen trees proves more difficult than you expected, especially
Told you we
for
should've-
the shorter members of the
Told you
party.
we should have cleared this.
Do you want me to help you?
It seems that one enormous tree fell and brought several others with it, resulting in an extensive tangle of branches and boughs.
Yes.
Why not? Many of the trees that collapsed were dead, and their branches have a tendency to break off with a sharp crack when subjected to the slightest weight, which is sometimes not that slight. Others are still fully leafed, making it difficult to see where you are going. We should proceed carefully, says Braxton. These trees must weigh several tons. If the pile shifts unexpectedly, we could be crushed. Time passes. You each lose 1 stamina. You each lose 1 additional stamina unless you have athletics.
Unless we have athletics. Oh,
Do you have athletics? Do you have athletics?
no.
Guess who didn't lose any stamina?
No, you lose 1. We all lose 1.
No, I have athletics.
You lose 1 anyway.
No, we lose 2 if you don't have athletics.
Oh, so you lost 2 and I lost 1.
Yeah, I'm down to 8. Guys, can we stop? I'm really tired.
All right, where was I? Right
I'm
here.
feeling
Stamina.
fine.
It says
Would
stamina.
you like to continue?
I'm gonna stab you from my loot. Stamina is a measure of how much you can push yourself or resist strain or damage. Excessive amounts of physical labor, prolonged exposure to harsh conditions, and physical damage suffered in combat all cause you to lose stamina and, blood. Your maximum stamina was determined during character creation and should be recorded on your character sheet. Whenever you lose stamina, subtract that amount from your current stamina, recording your current stamina separate from your maximum stamina. If your current stamina drops to 0, one of your skills will be disabled and you will recover 1 stamina. A disabled skill cannot be used until an effect allows you to recover that skill.
Oh my.
Okay?
So did we have to disable a skill?
No, it says
That's if you get to 0.
if your current stamina drops to 0, one of your skills will be disabled.
I'm at 8. What are you at?
12, like a grown-up.
13,
Oh, can I?
like a better grown-up.
Well, you're a shorter grown-up, but you are older.
Yes.
Can you carry my weapons?
What's wrong with this kid?
Tom, did you mark your time passage?
I did.
You
Yes.
did? Yeah, you did, I guess. All right. After a few missteps and undignified squawks, Miriam grudgingly consents to let Braxton lift her over the worst of the pile. We all have our talents, says Braxton in Miriam's disgruntled expression. Mine happens to be lifting heavy things. Oops.
Whoa!
That ain't right.
Whoa!
Oops.
That ain't right.
Wow.
I am not that heavy, huffs Miriam. Not even by gnome standards. Braxton laughs and hauls her down from her perch, finally reaching the road again on the far side of the blockage.
I like these 2 people a lot.
Mark story point D6. And then we're going to read entry 8557. 8557. Here we go. After following the winding road for what feels like hours, you begin to fear that you are traveling in circles. Just as you are about to suggest turning back, Miriam calls out from beyond the next bend, "There's a clearing up here!"
Woo!
As you round the bend, you see Miriam staring up at a single massive tree that stands alone in the center of a clearing some 20 paces across. Although the great oak's canopy is just as thick as anywhere else in the forest, its branches reach well above the tops of the surrounding trees, affording you a view of the sky at the edges of the clearing. If 3 or more time has passed, we're going to read this, which it has.
It has, yes.
35:49.
I'm excited. Maybe I get to climb the tree.
35:49.
I climbed a tree once. Do cats climb trees? Because my cats were really good at climbing trees.
Actually, yes, we do. I don't know. These.
Did you ever get stuck in a tree? 'Cause I had a cat-
No, I'm a grown cat folk.
Well, one time
You don't like me. Why do I keep
One time Tabitha got stuck in a tree.
Tabitha?
That's the cat name.
That was my wife's name. I'm kidding. I was never married.
Probably died, and she probably deserved it.
You're a monster. You're a monster. But like I said, I'm just kidding. It's already night. Who's speaking? Miriam. Okay. It's already night. No wonder I feel so tired. Miriam mutters with a large yawn. Sure enough, when you look up, you see stars sparkling brightly in the vast emptiness of the night sky. You note how brilliant they seem, so far from the torchlight of the city. At the edges of the clearing, several paths cut through the dense trees, leading away from the great oak in different directions. Only a few seem well-traveled, but none are marked by signs. Braxton, too, has noticed the myriad options for further travel. We should get our bearings. We should get our bearings before making. That's not deep. We should get our bearings before making camp for the night.
Is it a demon?
Miriam rolls her eyes at Braxton's suggestion. We can use the sun as our guide in the morning. I'm going to sleep. With that, she takes out a bedroll and eats it. With that, she takes out a bedroll and makes camp at the base of the great oak. So, let's see what you filthy non-cat folk want to do. Determine your heading by observing the stars. You can do that. You can convince Miriam to read the stars before she sleeps.
Don't forget there's the requirements.
Oh, I have to tell you that too?
Yeah,
Okay.
if there's requirements, you can tell us.
All right, so determine your heading by observing the stars. Requires arcana, devotion, or survival. Convince Miriam to read the stars before she sleeps. That requires empathy. What is empathy?
That means I care about you.
Or persuasion. That I know.
I have both of those.
Do you?
Yeah. Actually, I have the survival. I have the survival too.
He's.
Sometimes at night,
Oh, this is not going. This is not
my
going.
father would send me to the local store.
Nope. I don't want to know. You probably burnt it down. Climb the great oak to look for a landmark. It requires agility or athletics. Or leave the navigation to Braxton and just turn in for the night. That requires you to be quiet and sleep.
I will climb the great tree and look for a landmark.
You can?
I don't think you would be.
Do you
able
have
to
agility?
handle it. I have athletics.
That's
You can climb a tree?
Yes.
Do you want a boost?
Probably better than you.
I can push you up.
No, I don't need your help.
You're probably kind of heavy anyway.
You're probably right, because my brain is heavier than yours.
all right.
He's pretty funny. I like hanging out with this dwarf.
29.
This is the best adventure ever.
Did you just call him a twerp?
37,
Dwarf is what you
29.
said.
37, 29. Okay, here we go. As you climb the great oak tree, you find a number of curious items secreted throughout
Are they
its
shiny?
branches.
Shiny? Shiny
You're
calling
asleep,
it.
shut up.
If they're shiny,
You're
I'm
asleep,
calling
shut
them.
up. You're asleep, shut up.
Can you play me a song?
There are scraps of paper covered in writing in various languages and hands, some tied around branches, others glued to the trunk with sticky pine sap. There are intricately carved statuettes tucked into crooks in the tree's boughs or strung from leather cords. There are small clay pots tucked into holes. You pocket a small wooden trinket to show your companions when you return to the ground. You gain the wooden trinket, item B.
Oh, it's wooden? That's cursed.
That was Sam gains it.
Some effects cause you to gain items. To gain an item, record the item's name on your character sheet, then search the item deck for the item card and the matching identifier shown in parentheses above, which is item B. Keep the item card face up with your character sheet. For instance, to resolve the effect above, record wooden trinket on the character sheet.
Can I play with it?
Go to sleep.
I'm not really that tired.
We are tired of you.
That worked. Good. He's out.
Finally, some peace and quiet. Let's see.
Quite good. I'm clearly at my
then
loot
search the item
playing.
effect for the card for item B. That is this thing. Ooh, it's a badger. With the item B
He
printed.
just
When
scratched
searching the
himself in
item
his
deck,
sleep. It's weird.
be sure not to look at the face of any other item card. Okay, so that's fine.
All right.
All right, very good.
What's next?
Now,
Wake up, kid. We got things to do.
leaving the other objects as undisturbed as you can manage, you climb from thick, sturdy branch to thick, sturdy branch until you find yourself in the upper boughs of the tree. Moving more cautiously lest the thinner branches give way beneath your weight, you make your way to the edge of the leaves and look out over
The
eventide
thinner
forest.
ones.
The trees beneath you murmur and whisper as in the night. Whisper in the night breeze, visible as little more than a dark ocean of rustling leaves. In the distance, you can see the beacon tower in Dragonholt rising above the forest. You are now confident you know the way to Dragonholt. All right, so mark story point P3.
Speaking of which. What? You don't know what I was going to say.
We are in a forest. Find a tree somewhere other than here.
But I'm afraid. Can someone go with me?
No. When you return to camp, you show the wooden curio to your companions,
Woo!
but
Can I
they
touch
have
it?
no better idea what to make of it
It's a badger.
than you do.
I'm going to touch it. Ah!
You decide to keep the trinket as a souvenir to remind you of your trip. Now we read 8549.
I bet we could sell that.
No. I am keeping it as a souvenir. You assist Braxton in gathering some kindling and start a small campfire a few paces from the great oak.
Watch out for he's a pyromaniac.
I know he
Just
is.
Keep him away.
I'm
from
helping.
While you work, you can hear Miriam humming softly to herself. That's not humming. You set out your bedroll.
I know that song. My dad used to sing that to me.
While you work, you can hear Miriam humming softly to herself. You set out your bedroll and relax. Although you are all tired, a brief chat around the campfire is not an unwelcome event.
Still got that
So,
catnip.
three choices. Ask Miriam what she plans to do in Dragonholt. Ask Braxton what she plans to do in Dragonholt. Or
Kill both and
go
steal
straight to
everything they
sleep.
own. Go straight to sleep. Okay, who is? I just made my call.
We already asked Braxton. This is the second time we have had those two choices. We chose Braxton the last time.
I know,
so
but she's so interesting. I want to talk to her again.
we
You don't get to make the choice. It's me. Talking to Braxton. Oh, but E7 has to be marked. It's not marked.
good.
Fine. I'm not going to sleep. So I'm talking to Miriam.
Which is probably what the story wants.
And 3 is marked. This is not exhaust my activation token. What?
That's not.
3,
So he
5,
gets
7,
to go
9.
again. Are we both exhausted?
Yes.
What? I'm glad you asked, Bubbles Miriam. Ooh, she's fun to talk to.
She hasn't said anything yet.
She talks a lot. I'm going to set up the finest apothecary shop that Dragonholt has ever seen. I'll brew potions, woo, and sell remedies and make lots of money. She nods, tossing a vial of pink liquid into the air, catching it and bouncing it on her finger for no particular reason. She's cool too. My aunt can help get me started. She already runs the best inn in town, and she's a fantastic tailor too.
Stop.
Miriam flourishes her half cape and brightly colored tunic. So I have lots of choices here. I can ask her what types of potions she brews.
No.
Ask her about her family.
No.
I can't exchange brewing recipes with her because I don't have alchemy.
Right.
I could compliment her attire and inquire about its maker.
Yes. I could
I
steal whoever
can't
made
tell her what I know about Dragonholt's
Whoever made
markets.
it probably has a shop, and I can
I
steal from
could
it.
educate her on methods for barter and trade, but I wanted to talk about her outfit. So 1942.
See?
Why
That's
wouldn't you
awesome.
want to know about what potions she can make?
I don't have alchemy.
Oh, no, I thought you. Oh, okay.
He has
Oh, well, yeah, what type of
catnip.
potions? Oh, I'm curious about that, but her clothes. You compliment Miriam's clothes
Surrounded
and make a
by
few
idiots
astute comments as to
and
the skill with which they're made. No, listen.
Thank you.
My father made me make all my clothes from my other brothers and sisters.
You were the youngest.
Wait, you just said your father made you make clothes out of your other brothers and sisters?
No, they're clothing.
For them.
Now I know why
Four.
dwarves are better than
The
you.
cape in particular seems like it was both tightly woven and
Sweet
brilliantly
O's.
hemmed. You like it? Well, can I have it? Asked Miriam. Aunt Sappy made it especially for me. It keeps us off the sun and the rain, and I think it just looks dashing.
All clothing
She
does
holds
that.
her cape out in her arms and makes a few swooshing motions, letting the fabric billow around her. So we're going to mark D4 and M3.
Clothing.
If 2 or more time has passed, we go to 7094.
Did she tell you where she got the clothing?
Yeah,
Was
from
it
her
a
aunt.
wealthy shop?
What about you? Asked Mariam. By the way,
She
this is-
asked if
any of
I
us can do this.
care.
'Cause what are you
If she
planning to
does,
do in
the answer
Dragonholt?
is no.
Before you answer, she hunches over and crooks one finger like a sinister hook, putting a sneer in her voice. Are you seeking vengeance on its terrible foe? Just as quickly, she swoons, throwing one hand artfully over her forehead. Or are you in search of love? She tumbles backwards over a log with a
You're
squawk.
right about the idiot's part.
She grins up at you from a pile of sticks and leaves. Or maybe it's just a chance encounter. She continues to talk about everything and nothing before finally pausing for breath. So, we can either ask her how she met Braxton, ask about the forest, Eventide Forest, or ask her about gnomes.
Can we just go to sleep?
I would ask her about gnomes if that was,
Do
We
it, kid.
just ask her to go to
Do it.
sleep.
I will do it because
Do it, kid.
we all flipped over anyway. All right,
Gnomes.
No,
40,
you didn't
41.
activate yours last
No,
time.
he did that after
I did,
that.
but that was the last person to go, so now. Oh gosh, what is there to say? She furrows her brow and wrinkles her nose. Gnomes are free spirits, I
But
guess.
used it then.
We don't have any towns or cities of our own, not in Terranoth. Oh, I know Terranoth. There was once a room or... Okay.
Breaking
But you can
the
always
immersion.
find us here and there. Most of us travel a lot, but some, like my aunt, settle down if they can find a good place to do it.
And she
Do
lived
all gnomes
where?
consistently place themselves in danger, or is that just you, Mariam? Asked Braxton. Just me, beams Mariam. But I told you I can take care of myself. You notice that Mariam makes no mention of the most obvious trait of gnomes, their diminutive size. You're not certain as if it seemed too obvious to bring up, or if she left it out as a sensitive subject.
Oh, that won't be a problem for you, kid.
Ah,
Yeah, you'll bring it up.
1096 we go to.
You'll be like, hey, you're
Mariam
short.
lets out a long yawn and you second the motion. As you nestle in your bedroll for the night, Braxton speaks up. Best we don't all sleep at once. I'll take the first watch. Can I count on you to take the second? You nod in agreement and drift off to sleep. One of us must volunteer to keep watch.
I'll do it.
Yep.
Do I
If-
flip this?
No. Refresh your activation token, and the rest of us exhaust them. So we got to have them refresh or exhaust. So yours should be exhausted. We're going to both go to sleep. Sam will keep watch. 2 time passes.
I'm up in a tree,
and
by the way.
we each recover 2 stamina.
I'm going to climb up a tree and sleep up there. And if I hear
Your
you
stamina
make
obviously can't go
joke-
over your maximum stamina.
All right. Good night.
So Sam, this
Let the record reflect that I was less tired than you.
Do your
you rouse from
do
your
your
slumber
job.
to gentle coaxing from Braxton. Your turn at watch, she says quietly. You rub your eyes for a moment and sit up, taking a drink from the canteen to wake yourself. Oh, this is you. Sorry, Sam.
If by doing my
That's where you're
job
at.
you mean watching over the idiots and making sure the catfolk don't steal from them, I will.
I can't wait to go to that stage.
You rouse from your slumber to gentle coaxing from Braxton. Your turn at watch, she says quietly. You rub your eyes for a moment and sit up, taking a drink from your canteen to wake yourself. You glance around camp at your fellow travelers. Braxton prepares her bedroll, lies down, and is quickly asleep. Mariam stirs
Also
for a
quietly,
moment,
though.
possibly awakened by the brief commotion, and rolls to her other side. A gentle silence takes hold of the clearing. Your journey to Dragonholt has been a long one, but now you are more than half a day's travel. You are no more than half a day's travel from your destination. The crack of burning branches from the campfire keeps you company as you keep watch. The moon is beginning to set, and you know the light of a new dawn will soon grace the forest clearing where you have made camp. Just then you hear a rustling in the thick brush on one side of the camp and recall Braxton warning from about...
Oh, wake up!
let's see.
What's happening, man?
I'm going
I
to...
cut a fool.
What are the choices?
The choices are watch for further movement or signs of danger, arm yourself and take a closer look, or wake your fellow traveling companions.
Wake us!
I'm going to arm myself and take a closer look.
Do that too, yes.
Do you have a weapon now?
I'm on watch. Sure.
Are we supposed to?
No, I mean...
Oh, items. We don't have items.
I imagine. I've got a wooden trinket.
Beat them to
in the
death.
shape of a badger, so I'm
No,
good.
I think we all have weapons. I have a bow and arrow, and I have a knife.
How do you know?
That's what I
Okay,
said.
so 1654. Let's see.
Oh, I'm
here.
still sleeping, sorry.
All right. This also says that this does not exhaust my activation token. So, 1654. You grab your weapon and slip out of the camp, circling around toward where you heard the sound. As your eyes adjust to the darkness, you move silently from tree to tree and soon find yourself behind a small group of rough-looking people, lurking in the bushes and watching your camp. Bandits. Mark story X1. Wow, you did that in your sleep. That's awesome. There are 3 bandits directly in front of you, 2 men and a woman, torn and stained clothing and scraps of leather armor. The woman holds a strung bow across her knees as she crouches, while one of the men has a spear and the other a long knife in his hand.
Are we still asleep, by the way?
Yes.
Okay, good luck, bro.
Wasn't someone on watch by the fire? Asks one of the men. I don't see anyone there now, says the woman. Quiet, says the other man. Wait for the signal. They clearly haven't noticed you. Just as clearly, they're intending to attack your traveling companions.
Dude, I got awareness, deception. Come on, I should be aware of this.
Shout a warning to your traveling companions. Draw your weapon and engage the bandits. Sneak up on the bandits and ambush them. Well, he did say wait for the signal, so I'm assuming that this is only one part of the group. So I'm going to shout a warning to their traveling companions and turn to 9943.
Let him shout.
Oh, yeah, shout, dude.
Wait.
Oh. Oh, sorry.
9943. You shout a warning. Wake up, you dolts and lovers! We're about to be attacked!
Where's my catnip?
You rush back into the camp, hearing the bandits swear and move to follow you. We're supposed to wait for the signal, hisses one. That was the signal, shouts the other.
Let's go.
As you skid to a stop by the campfire, you see Braxton already on her feet with a shield in hand. Miriam is still staggering out of her tangling blanket. What is it? Grumbles Miriam. What's going on? Bandits! Rumbles Braxton as a half dozen of the desperate-looking figures run into the firelight, weapons held high. Raid entry 4300.
Let's do it. I'm gonna stab a fool, and then I might take the stuff he owns.
Braxton hefts a heavy steel shield and slashes her longsword threateningly at one of the approaching bandits. Miriam produces 2 flasks and unstoppers one of them. A thick, acrid smoke pours out from its open mouth as she holds it aloft, ready to throw. 3 of the bandits suddenly rush forward, charging the camp. Miriam hurls the smoking flask, which smashes against one of their bucklers. A billowing cloud of acidic fog erupts from the impact site.
Stuff.
The bandit shrieks and flails, dropping the buckler to the ground as it dissolves.
Flails,
The 2 other bandits continue
Said
their
shriek.
charge. One swings an axe at Miriam, but Braxton catches the blade with her longsword and slams her shield into the man, sending him tumbling to the ground. The 3rd bandit dodges around Braxton and darts forward straight toward you, spear point trained at your chest.
Yeah, that's you, man. Good luck.
All right, so I have dodge the attack, catch the spear and disarm the bandit, deflect the spear, counterattack, which needs dueling or military, which I have military, and then blast the bandit with a rune, which would require runes, or Arcana, don't have that. So I'm going to deflect the spear and counterattack, read 8427.
Stab everybody. But if you find anything valuable, I helped you.
No, that's after the fight, dude. 8427.
He's like, where's the loot? We're like, shut up, it's not done yet.
With instincts born of long training, you brace yourself, readying to parry the incoming thrust and counterattack. As long as you don't slip up, you can drop the bandit in a single attack. If you have the agility skill or athletics skill, I do, read 9608. Which
I'm so glad he's with us.
you swing your weapon to
ready to
deflect the spear, knocking
Yes.
the lethal point aside and following up with a riposte, or whatever you pronounce that word. You attack. Your attack catches the bandit off guard and leaves him bleeding on the grass. You step back, taking a moment to assess the situation. Blood! If H3 has been marked, has H3 been marked? I don't think so.
No.
Okay. Otherwise, read 95:13. For Kayla and Harmon, bellows Braxton. In the flickering firelight, she seems a demon from a nightmare, huge and dark and powerful. 3 of the bandits attempt to surround her, but she pivots away, slamming her shield into one and knocking her down, then slashing at a second and sending him screaming into the dark, clutching at his face. She trades blows with a large human, his axe sliding off her shield.
I'll give you
her
2 blows
sword
for your
flickering
1 blow.
past his face as he dances backwards. You notice a bandit with his hair in a long braid creeping up behind Braxton with a knife glimmering in his hand. Focused as Braxton is on her battle with the large bandit, she clearly hasn't noticed. All right, so...
I think, didn't you, the last decision you made, so this would have to be one of us here, right?
Yeah, get out of here, human.
I believe so, yes.
So Z, let Z do this one.
What am I doing? Give me my choices.
Intercept the approaching bandit, catch the bandit from
Wait,
behind.
I'm losing track of this whole system. Are
And
we
you don't-
back now?
Yeah, we're both
You
back.
don't have
'Cause he woke us
alchemy,
up.
so you can't stop the bandit with an alchemical concoction. So you can either intercept or catch the bandit from behind.
Uh-huh. I'll catch him from behind.
Has anyone ever, I don't want to pause the battle too much, but has anyone ever grabbed your tail and pulled you?
You don't want
I
to.
hate this kid.
You don't want to intercept. You're running the chance that you might not. I don't know.
That what? That
I
they'll
don't
kill
think we
someone
wanna
else?
I don't think we want to lose Braxton.
Catch the bandit from behind seems to be a pretty good idea. I'm not as much of hunk as you are.
Just saying. All right.
I'm gonna catch him from behind, man.
Here you go.
I'm
You're
about to-
running the chance of Braxton being killed, I think.
I'm willing to take that chance.
Okay. This is why I don't trust catfolk.
So this is spent. I'm about to loot this guy up. 9250. 9250. Here we go. Moving as quickly as you can on silent feet, you drift up behind the braided bandit. He lifts his knife ready to bring it down into Braxton's neck, and you reach to grab him from behind. If you have stealth, otherwise...
You don't have stealth? You're a cat!
Crap. I thought I had stealth. Why did I not pick stealth? 3412.
This is why I distrust catfolk.
34.
So they clearly have a higher perception of
I also can't turn the
themselves.
pages of a book very well.
Okay. Your foot lands on a dry branch that snaps in half with a loud crack as you put your weight down. The braided bandit pivots and brings his knife down on you instead, slashing you across the arm. You lose 4 stamina.
Oh
It hurts!
Fool of a cat.
no! More blood!
Ah!
I'm surrounded by buffoons.
You grab his knife hand at the wrist and wrestle with him for control of the blade. He gets the fire. Are you proud of me, kid? I threw him in the fire.
I am. Are we off?
I bumped the button. It's fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Go back.
He screams and shoots to his feet, running in random... Okay, so he's on fire. So he screams and shoots to his feet, running in random loops as he attempts to beat the flames out of his hair and
That's just
clothing.
like old man!
That old guy you set on fire, yeah. You climb slowly to your feet, gasping for breath, and lose track of him in the melee. And then I read entry 2004, A Forest Odyssey. Here we go. Your companions are still locked in combat with the bandits who swarm around the edges of the light provided by your campfire. Screaming incoherently, a scarred bandit rushes at you. In one hand, that's what it sounds like. It's incoherent. In one hand, he brandishes a studded iron mace. Whoa. The other arm ends in a steel hook. It's a pirate bandit.
This is me!
Its metal glinting in the firelight.
I'm gonna shoot him with my bow!
So, you can rush forward to engage the bandit.
I think no.
You can brace yourself to receive the charge.
Yeah,
That requires military.
don't have it.
Or you can flee and attack at range. That requires arcana, archery, or thievery.
Definitely archery.
Or you can protect yourself with an alchemical mixture that
Don't have
requires
that.
alchemy.
Doing the archery thing.
All right, there you go. 3568.
By the way, we flip all these over now.
Wham. Right? 3568.
Oh, this says it does not exhaust my thing.
Yeah, because you'll run away.
3568. You maneuver through the melee, dodging around Braxton and another orc woman. Then you break free from the fray, sprinting towards the Great Oak, hoping you can put enough range between yourself and the bandit so that you can attack from relative safety. Do you have agility or athletics? I do have agility, unlike some cats. So I'm going to go to 5414.
I believe he was just shaming you.
Cat
The bandit
shaming.
gives chase, but you're too quick for him. You sprint away until you have enough distance to deal with the bandit at your leisure. So am I going to throw knives, shoot an arrow, or incapacitate him with runic magic?
Just talk him to death.
I'm doing the archery thing. Shooting an arrow, 2091.
When it hits him, it like...
You
The
draw
scroll pops
and
open
loose
and
as quickly as you can. The arrow catches the bandit in the leg. I'm sorry! Sending him tumbling
Why
to the
would you
ground and
be
rolling to a halt not 3 paces from you. As he struggles to stand, you fire one more time, then turn your attention elsewhere.
I plugged in my loot.
Yeah.
You find yourself standing in a
distortion
loose...
bell, too.
Oh,
That's
guys, we're
pretty
doing
good.
the Avengers thing. You find yourself standing in a loose circle with your companions, and no bandits close at hand. Even more of the enemy emerge from the trees, however, and they begin to surround you.
Dun, 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 dun.
I got the arrow. I'm Hawk Lawrence. All right. What now, breathes Miriam. You sure it's the first time you've heard fear in her voice? The bandit's leader chuckles and speaks, causing the firelight to play off the long scar on the side of his face in a sinister way. Drop your valuables and leave. There's no need for you to die
You
here.
want us to drop what?
Valuables.
Oh, valuable! I did not hear
The
that.
other
Okay.
bandits hoot and howl, woohoo, and brandish their blades and axes in the air in front of you. Braxton glances sideways at you. There are too many of them. We cannot win this fight. She edges backwards, and you notice her lean in the direction of Dragonholt. You can't have my gold. I'll be using it to start my business, hisses Miriam. Despite the bite in her words, you notice her hands trembling. All right, guys, this is what we're going to have. Option, one of you. Or me, I guess I could do it too. Fend off the bandits long enough for the others to escape. That requires brawling, dueling, or military.
Dude,
Create
I
a
suck.
diversion and flee towards Dragonholt. This requires deception or performance.
Yeah, baby, I'm all about this. I got both of those.
Create a smoke screen. Well, we can't do that 'cause we have alchemy.
You can't touch what you
Or
can't
we can,
catch.
we can turn tail and run.
Wait, turn tail, it says that?
I do have military, so I could fend them off while you guys escape.
Well, you can also do the diversion. Which one?
I don't care.
All right, do the
Whatever you
stupid
guys wanna
diversion. Flip yourself for 5280.
Oh my goodness.
wanna come on, let me distract them, man.
I'm running.
Cat
we
folk
pick?
over here doing walk like the Egyptians.
This will be the 4th cat I've lost.
Oh, no. What are we doing? Which one are we doing? Diversion?
good
5280.
riddance.
Yeah, 5280. All right.
We could just find a way to get rid of the human too.
with my dance of, I called it my dance of the darkness.
Yeah, it should be done in the dark, that's for sure.
All the thieves are watching. I'm also watching it. Sam's grabbed me by the back of the neck. Go!
Like, ooh, it's good.
Dude, he has moves.
5280.
I need to remember to ask him to teach me that.
All right, 5280. Here we go. Using the darkness, see what I mean? The dance of the darkness. Using the darkness to your advantage, you throw your voice, making it sound as if soldiers are approaching through the trees. I don't know how that works.
I've never met someone who can throw their
Village
voice.
guards, yells one bandit. Here, leg it, lads! It's a trick, you credulous clods, bellows the bandit leader, but the panic that ripples through his minions is enough for you and your companions to slip away. After them! And then we keep reading somewhere else.
Woo! Let's go!
By the way, Z, you danced your mic off.
Of course I did.
Well, before you read, you should
Yeah, you
put your mic back on. Dance the mic away. Worries to
Dance,
another day.
dance, it's the mic away. Okay, 3645. You run through the eventide forest, scrambling and stumbling as you go. You are surprised to discover that you can see, and you realize you are surprised to discover that you can see.
It's morning, I guess.
Okay, and you realize that the sun must already be rising somewhere beyond the trees. Time inevitably passes. Okay. The narrow and twisting path soon comes to a steep climb with a rocky outcropping that rises above on either side. A large standing stone towers to your right. You can hear the bandits still coming behind you, shouting to their fellows like hounds on the hunt. And I'm like, oh man, get me out of here quick! I'm freaking out, dude! But any pursuer will have to scramble up the same narrow gulch. So, choices are as follows. Tip over the standing stone to block the path. Pretty good. Fire with your bow from the high ground. Requires archery. You got archery?
Yeah.
Or set a trap for the approaching bandits that requires survival. Which I have.
But you're out.
I'm out. Okay, what do you want,
What's
kid?
the first one, the pushing the stone? What does that require?
Nothing. It requires you to not be a moron. You're just pushing over a stone.
All right, Sam, do you want me to do archery or do you want to push over the stone?
Did you call me an idiot, a moron there? I mean,
Since you're unable to do much of anything useful, would you like to just move something heavy?
no, go ahead and fire your arrow.
All right.
So what are you doing, the trap or the arrow?
arrow.
The bows? Okay,
Yeah.
here you go, kid.
What number?
Right there. I don't know. Look at the number.
5223.
You got this. I believe in you.
You settle yourself into a rocky perch above the path
you
and wait for the lead bandit to come into sight. Arrow knocked to your bowstring. Soon with a shout, a tall, dark-skinned human with a shock of white hair leaps onto the trail. He rushes forward, axe in hand, and you draw back your bow. If you have awareness or willpower, otherwise read this entry. Oh, okay, 7348.
I have awareness and willpower.
And I have awareness as well.
You draw back your bow and fire, narrowly missing the lead bandit. Your second arrow hits, however, and the bandit slumps over against the rocky slope. Oh! The next bandit in line, a dwarf woman with an eye patch, hurls a hand axe at you before your fourth frantic arrow fells her as well. You lose 3 stamina.
She was my uncle's cousin.
After a few more tentative essays into the gulch driven back by your archery, you break away running towards Dragonholt. Guys, I think I killed someone. I've never done that before. With the bandits preoccupied by your efforts back at the gulch, you're able to gain a considerable lead on them. The rocky terrain continues to rise around you, the trees of Eventide Forest becoming smaller and scrappier as you go. Soon you come to a sheer cliff face.
Grass.
Only a few scraggly trees clinging to the rocks rising above you. Sunlight spills across the sky above the cliff, a promise of freedom and safety. You could climb to the top, but it would be a challenge. The path continues to the left a fair distance, then becomes a tight switchback crawling up to the top of the rise. It would be a safer route to the top, but slower than climbing directly. Sam, climb or run?
I believe you can climb.
That's 40-55.
I believe you're
this,
gonna
though?
go up the wall.
It does, but that we're all back.
Oh, we are.
Just now.
So 40-55.
40-55?
Yeah.
40-55.
I believe you can climb.
There's a lot of choices in this book.
I believe
40-55.
that you picked
You scramble up the
wrong
cliff face,
path.
relying on the trees that cling to cracks in the rock for handholds. This proves
At one point, I
unwise,
grabbed
as not
Z's
all of
tail.
the trees are anchored securely enough to bear your weight, and you find yourself dangling from your fingertips above a steep drop. You each lose 2 stamina unless you have the athletics skill. Oh, I've got athletics.
What is happening? I picked all the wrong stuff.
I'm down to 5, guys!
2?
Yes. Miriam isn't making things any easier either, despite Braxton's efforts. I'll be fine, she huffs. I'm not the only one here who needs help,
She looks at Sam.
she says with a nod at you.
And she says it too.
In fairness to the gnome, she's not dangling from her fingertips. Braxton makes her way over to you and helps you regain your footing. Test each toe hold before you put your weight on it, she says.
You filthy dwarf.
I'm the only one who hasn't lost any stamina. You shut up, you dumb orc.
You should have not climbed a thing.
You resume your climb, but you hear shouting below you. The bandits have reached the bottom of the cliff. They immediately begin pelting you with arrows and stones, making the rest of the climb a nightmare. You each lose 3 stamina unless
What?
you have the agility skill.
Oh! Oh, good.
I'm bad at everything.
I don't have agility, so I'm
I'm
down to
dodging.
11.
I'm down to 5. Oh, so are you. Never mind.
My sister used to shoot arrows at me.
Finally,
Really? Just
you
for
make
fun?
it to the top, gasping
They said
for
it was for
breath.
practice.
You are safe from the bandits' arrows up here, but the bandits have already begun the climb after you.
Can we
All
roll
right, so
rocks
here
down?
are the different things. Throw rocks at the bandits.
Oh.
Return fire with your bow.
Oh.
Smash a vial of... don't
Urine.
have alchemy, don't have that. Blast the cliff face, don't have arcana or runes, I don't think.
Urination.
Oh, I got runes.
So, you do?
Urination. Urine. Anyone?
Oh, let's
Okay.
blast it.
That's disgusting.
That's what I mean. Blasting it.
My father
All
said
right.
never to use this
So
rune,
you
but
can,
he
you,
ain't
can,
here.
you can blast the cliff face with runic magic, throw rocks at the bandits, or return fire with your bow.
I want to do the magic.
Do
you
it.
don't
Do
have
it,
any
kid.
of the things necessary. So
Of course I don't. Have you noticed? I'm good at nothing. Hello, darkness, my old friend.
3967 at the bottom of the page.
I've come
You
to
produce a
eat
blasting rune
cat
from an
nothing.
interior pocket and calmly bend the energy within to your will. You extend a phantom limb towards the rocks below, and with a clenched fist, impact the cliff face.
Wham!
Stones and earth shatter and fly, showering the climbing bandits with rocky shrapnel. A great cloud of dirt and dust covers the path below, causing the bandits to cough and sputter. Soon the bandits are running from the cloud, retreating into the forest. You have escaped.
That's cool.
Read entry 9999.
That's creepy. I went to Bard school with a guy named Rocky Shrapnel.
All right. As the sun climbs above the
Is he a
trees, you continue your journey toward Dragonholt. At your new elevation, the trees are smaller and farther apart, and at some point, you've passed an invisible barrier where you are not in a forest so much as a rocky plain with occasional trees. Dragonholt lies below you, and you can see the beacon tower rising above the trees, the sun climbing the sky behind it. You've less than an hour of walking before you. Time passes.
It's so weird how time passes.
Normal, though.
At length, you walk through an orchard, the twisted trees heavy with fruit and prompt disease eating them by the weathered
I'm
boards and
stealing them,
poles.
that's for sure.
Then you find yourself on Dragonholt's main street, walking beneath the dueling dragon statues that serve as the closest thing to a city gate.
Cool.
One dragon is carved from black stone, the other from white, and they arch across the street above you, not quite touching. Marvelous, breathes Braxton. Some sort of memory of the Dragon Wars, says Miriam. This way, she says, and skips down the cobble street as if she hadn't been woken in the middle of the night by bandits. You cross a crowded village green that is laid out before a garden shrine with a domed glass ceiling. In front of the shrine stands a marble spire, atop which burns a beacon fire. Then you pass a building dark with soot and marred by broken windows. Miriam pauses at an intersection and peers down 2 side streets before nodding vigorously and leading the way south. We'll get a proper breakfast as soon as we find my aunt's inn, she says. It's called the Swan. Does it have a lovely white swan painted on its sign? Asks Braxton. Yes, it does, says Miriam. Then is it just there, she points? And Miriam beams. Oh, there it is. Let's go. She rushes off in a fresh burst of energy, leaving you stumbling along behind. When you finally reach the Swan, you find Miriam babbling excitedly to a gnome who looks almost exactly like her, 20 years older. You must be Miriam's friends, says the older woman. I'm Miriam's Aunt Sapphire. It's good to meet you. She welcomes you
Sapphire.
inside, and you
Hello.
step down to a pleasantly cool, half-sunken common room where scattering of thick oak tables and sturdy chairs lie beneath rafters strung with herbs and root vegetables. Thick iron lanterns rest on each table, none lit now, and light streams in from tall windows against the south wall. Please have a seat, says your host, and you do it. We made it, says Braxton, dropping heavily into a chair that creaks under her weight. I think I could sleep for a week. None of that, says Miriam. We have work to do. Braxton lifts her head and glares. Starting tomorrow, says Miriam, I guess. Let's all take today off. Miriam vanishes into a back room, then appears a few minutes later with a tray rattling with glass bottles of red liquid. Here, she says and distributes the bottles. It's the least I can do for helping me get here safely.
What is it?
We
I
get
don't drink
3
anything
healing
in-
potions.
Oh, okay.
Item A.
Sweet.
So it says distribute them amongst ourselves. So I guess we all get one because there's 3 of us.
I would like 2 of them. Is anyone okay with that?
Nope.
Okay, so you can drink a potion at
give
any
my
time.
pen, fool.
You can drink a potion at any time. You have to have at least 1 potion recorded on your character sheet, obviously. When you do it, you reduce the number of healing potions you have by 1, and you get half your maximum stamina back.
Okay. Sounds good.
If you're playing
So if I read that correctly, if I drank it now, I would get 7 back, but I'd only go back up to 14.
Yes.
Okay.
You can only drink it, though, if this is not unexhausted. In addition, you can give your potions to anyone at any time, but only if you're not exhausted. Drinking a potion does not exhaust your token, though. Sapphire returns a moment later with a larger tray, overflowing with plates of yellow eggs, loaves of dark brown bread, and a tall pitcher of milk. I knew you liked milk! I hope you'll stay at the Swan for as long as you like, she says. No charge, of course. Not after what you got
I'm there, man.
through with to get my Miriam here safely. Miriam pours everyone a glass of milk. This is for kids, right?
Then you're like,
She holds hers aloft and exclaims, "To new roads!" Braxton takes a glass, holds it up, and looks from Miriam to Sapphire to you. To new friends! The meal is amazing, and you soon collapse in rooms provided by your generous host. You doze through the majority of the day. After dinner, you rest in the common room, chatting idly with Braxton and another patron. Soon, the lack of a good night's sleep is too much, and you retire to your room. You have to explore Dragonholt on the morrow. We each get half of our maximum stamina back. So I'm back to 10.
So we're back to...
Well, you might not be.
I got 7.
So you're at 12, actually.
I'm at 12.
You each recover a skill if we had lost one. You each refresh your activation token. We each get 1 experience. Our fame increases by 1. And the quest is complete. We would now go to 1001 in the Dragonholt Village book. So at the end of a quest, something might give us experience as an abstract measure, blah blah blah. We'll be able to spend it to get new skills in the future. Some of us need that more than others.
Yes, clearly. Some of the useful ones.
Fame, though, that's like when people meet us and might say, how much fame do we have?
They better
We've
start
now
treating me with
finished
some
this quest
respect.
book completely, and we would start the next quest. It says, just after completing a quest is a great time to take a break. No kidding. We're not stopping till we're done. So we finished 2 new roads. So this is my guess. We now go to Dragonholt Village, and I bet from there you might go out on a quest, which is pretty cool.
Just randomly read from this.
No. I enjoyed that. It was kind of like Tales of Raven. I mean, it was obviously on a path that we did, but we got to... I felt like the skills came in play. It felt pretty interesting. I mean, no one died or...
It's like a choose-your-own-adventure game, but with checking that you have, skills to check against what you're able to do. That's
it's
basically
a more focused Tales of Arabian Nights. It really feels like that.
Yeah, well, that's not very difficult to do. Tales of Arabian Nights is just sort of like whatever can happen, and things don't necessarily flow into each other, but yeah, this is neat. It's different. It's very different.
Well, like I said, that doesn't really probably spoil much. Not in the live comments, because we won't be able to read those later on, but if you're watching this later on, if you leave a comment, would you like to see us continue this adventure? Because these are fun for us. I had a good time doing these.
Right.
And they're not a lot of work for us to put together. So we could go farther in the story if you want to. I mean, that would obviously be more spoilery, but maybe some people have played it or you're not going to. Let us know in the comments if you'd like us to do that or not, if you would watch it, because that's interesting. But I think that's it for now. So from Loquacious Lawrence, who has now killed someone for the first time in his life.
You're becoming a man.
But I did that rune thing at the end, which I feel like.
That was cool. That was cool. You helped.
We all did something. He stopped the ambush.
What did I do?
No, you gave the distraction, the dance of darkness, and we all fled.
The dance of darkness was on fire, but it was...
We'll never speak of it
It
again.
was good.
I'm like, do you remember when he says he's...
Shut up about that.
Alrighty. Thanks, Nick Furry.
You got it.
And Tank
Stonebeard.
Actually, with 3 people, it works pretty well because we had 2 other people. A party of 5 seemed like a legitimate group.
Yes, right.
And we didn't pick Orc, Warrior, or Gnome Alchemist, so that's cool too.
Yeah.
Now that I know that if I ever played this again, I would deliberately not pick those things as it would seem.
To repeat. Yeah. Cool. All right.
Yep, that's it.
So anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vassal.
I'm Z Garcia. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Sam Healy. See you guys on the flip side of Dragonholt.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool Stuff, in stock. Check them out at coolstuffinc.com.